Hi-oh, Beaver!
Happy
Away!
birthday! What is up, everybody? Welcome back to Critscast. We had some Highlander action previously in the week already, and we're continuing on with Highlander Season 23's Premiership qualifiers. This will be a big one here. This will decide who will have a chance to move on to Premiership, who will go back home to Division 1. It's EF2L KANKER against Bad Dragons. I've seen some funny stuff on upload by Bad Dragons, certainly trying to be not just on Korf, but also on payload, to be a little bit more on the offensive as much as they can, even when they're holding, just to try to be proactive. Hopefully we can see some of this here between these two rosters.
Well, yeah, what I like from Bad Dragons is they came into the server and instantly they stacked blue super hard. So that tells me that they've had a good warm-up. They're really confident. They're going to look and just try and shell-shock KANKER, and if you can instantly get that aggression going, you can just roll that first round and it's over before kind of KANKER have any kind of opportunity to respond.
Alright, with that said, we are going live now. It's EF2L KANKER and Bad Dragon starting off in the Premiership qualifier for Season 23. We're starting on Upward as the first map of the best of 3. Bad Dragon starting on blue, starting with the offense here on the payload map. KANKER starting to hold. As is tradition, it is played best of 3 within the match and the map here on Upward as well. You need 2 round wins in a row to take the map home. So Bad Dragons will start off the hold here. Next one they will start holding. We'll see how it goes as we see both teams just preparing themselves, getting themselves into the mindset here. Nothing too crazy just yet in terms of any setup here. Gun on the point, fairly standard, more aggressive gun to try to shut down the bombers. So we'll see if Bad Dragons can get past this. Yeah,
we also see Piney with this sneaky spot in shadow, just hiding there. It's kind of a risky spot because if you get called out and bombed early by the soldier, it can be over pretty quickly. We know Boshi is a very, very good jumper main.
Alright, we're ready to go here, and we see Cloudy actually rocking the Huntsman on the first roller. Just wants to go in with some quick shots, it seems, with the rest of his team for some sort of sack wave. They're taking their sweet time here actually to get this thing started, but it also lets the card roll forward a little bit here and scout out the situation where they need to be worried about on the gun, on the sniper. Certainly didn't spot the sniper there in time, but the bombs come through either way. Quark and Boshi trying to get their way in. Ares holding close, very forward on the staircase in the dispenser, not taking any damage to these bombs coming his way.
Yeah, Ares just, he heard the bombs called and just runs forward into the dispenser. There's a sandwich next to him, nice and safe. The soldier took a while to die, but didn't seem to quite have a sight on the medic, so he couldn't really get any important damage down.
Alright, well, sack wave out of the way. Maybe we'll see them push early. It's always a matter of belief. Some teams like to sack twice, some teams just like to get the Uber in immediately after the sack wave. A sack wave usually just fairly standard though, because you need to get the card forward first of all anyway. But with that said, Atom is leaving spawn, so they need to be careful about the pick classes to not let them get close to the medic here if they want to get this Uber in deep. But with the spy going down as Uber comes in, this is a little bit of a sketchy start. Red team reserving them before a tad bit later here, can just hold out to push a little bit longer here, try to push them back, but Pyro and Heavy do a lot of damage forward. They can't quite get a lot of kills, but it'll have to do for now. The gun is still up, they still have heals and pick advantage as well, so this is also looking pretty good for KANKER here.
Yeah, I mean, they lost Piney, he's now back up just about, but they haven't really made the most of a little bit of space with the red sniper down. Bad Dragons will be perhaps looking to repush, get some spam down while the Ubers are out of play. But they're not really putting too much pressure right now.
Yeah, let's see. The card time is slowly getting towards the corner here. Boshi pushing up with this as well, and this is starting to become enough damage, especially with the gun and NG down and lack of sniper, of course, to be a push back all the way to second. Fridge even tries to chase down on the medic and will get the kill here in the end, just pushing in deep. The Greaser deals less damage, but has enough time to get the killing blow there anyway. This will be the first point wrapped up, not in the greatest time, but with a medic down now, this should be not much more than a minute in normal circumstances to take the second point as well.
Yeah, KANKER haven't really lost any key players there, and they just kind of decided to back out. But somehow Fridge just came in completely unsighted, pretty much alone, no team to follow up. Gets down the medic, and now KANKER can't even hold second. They're going to have to go for third because they're down such a huge disadvantage. It was only just spawning. He's on 10% full advantage for Bad Dragons.
Alright, well, like I said previously, this point has just been rolling through pretty quickly. 240 is making up for a little bit of a tougher first. You just will still be a very reasonable time. Sub 3 into second is good pace here, especially if you can keep up your pace into the third point here. Still have advantage. Ares only on 50% now, as starting to make some attempt to take position forward here Still a little bit more resistance though. Everyone's up otherwise on Kanker. The gun's up as well. Piney is just staring down the sideline here. They're trying to get through, losing a couple players on the way. The Spy's not the biggest loss right now, but they really don't want to push into this gun with the Uber, it seems, and they want to just get some damage on it first.
Yeah, they seem to have... They're kind of accepting that there's no advantage anymore. I don't think Ares was building super well, but they now know it's going to be even Ubers. They didn't make anything of that advantage. In fact, really aggressive Ubers coming in from Kanker.
Yeah, they want to meet them halfway and not let them take so much space early, but not going too well, having to fall back anyway. Gun gets stabbed, Engie's still there. Before anyone can push up, maybe still just in time. Yeah, that's a tiny bit of damage that Quark can capitalize on to deal with the gun here. That gives them a lot more space to work with. He's still taking their sweet time, but it's good enough in the end. They've taken a lot of control here on third. Kanker doesn't want to play with fire, falls back for the most, but even with the conch they had here, the card is capped, and anything that can happen now just needs to be good damage reduction. But Atom is safe and sound in the corner here with his heavy, staying alive in the midst of this little bit of counter reaction here, getting 3 kills in their favor on the Russian side now, able to maybe get some space towards last, trying to prevent the other team from holding on the top area here where the defense likes to stay on upward last, and Kanker does not like to see the fight back from the Russian side, tries to meet them there with the DuMmTm. Arrow's incredibly weak though, has to fall back, has to play careful here not to go down. They need this Uber to get some more time because 3:46 is a pretty good pace for the Bad Dragons, all things considered.
Yeah, Super fell down there, really crucial time. Sammy was alone briefly, and we now see a really aggressive Uber from Sammy again. The medic's so far back that I don't even think they're going to get forced.
Yeah, the Atom is just way in spawn basically, not even anywhere close at all, not trying to be in the danger zone whatsoever here. Works for now, makes it a little bit slow on the counter reaction now, but they have the time if they do it well, I suppose. So they're coming forward now, and Kanker has to be ready for it. They're still having the forward position. They want to not let them take any space too easily here into the last point, and make it so that the gun is the last thing they can really get to before they can even think about that. They have to get through this forward hold here right now, but the Uber popped through early. Will attempt to do just that here. Pyro trying to hardest to do anything about that, but will not get through in the end. Point still not wrapped up by any means, but the forward control taken to the side of Bad Dragons is a great start for them here.
Yeah, the upper control is really important on this map. They got it with Uber advantage, but they didn't really get enough pick. But now they're kind of having to feed into them a little bit, just to delay the cart a little bit. We can really see the flank kind of contesting. And the heavy up top in this boxes can just kind of rain down death on anyone trying to contest the cart. So it should...
Oh, the stickies! Savvy just kills everything on cart. The Pyro was unaware for just a second, but he will still go down courtesy of the heavy up top there to mow the DuMmTm down, and that is just enough time for the Scout to cap this one up here. And that will be the point taken anyway. 5:43, that's a really good time for the Russians here. Bad Dragons in great shape, it seems.
Well, that's what I was talking about earlier, where Bad Dragons picking the blue, you can see they're super confident. They're really aggressive with all their pushes. And Kanker, they're often the ones really trading first into the opposition, and you can see on that last point, they didn't even really need a sack wave just because of how happy Kanker were to just pop their Uber with just a demo man in front of them, and it gave them the full advantage. And those advantages, they've just kind of been able to steamroll to a really, really fast time.
Yeah, I think a lot of it is as well, and that's not necessarily always a bad quality, but I think given how the game has been going so far, Kanker is very content, I want to say, giving Bad Dragons space after these Uber fights and willing to fall back early, which can be good in a lot of circumstances, but I think at the moment it didn't really do them too many favors here and just ended up giving up points maybe a tad bit too early, especially on first and third, and let Bad Dragons take a lot of space a little bit too easily here. Will make a great time for the Russians here, but Kanker has no choice but to contest. It's certainly still doable, but they need a great round here of their own.
Yeah, we'll see if they do the same kind of sack waves. I think they're maybe going to be forced into just an early trade just because of the timer pressure that they have. And you can see Ares walking out immediately, looking ready for the trade. Sammy comes in with the Uber pretty early. Not the counter Uber coming on the Pyro kind of denies any real damage. I think the Spy also got cleaned up.
Really just a matter of not trying to give them any space here for the most part right now to meet them halfway there. Still, a couple of people are weak. They need to be a little bit careful here. It's not like Kanker has fallen back too much. He is still on the slope, trying to spam damage, trying to catch up people over extending. Quark over the stickies, but Savvy has no idea. Will not that on that. Still, there's so much damage on Pyro on that moment forward there. Anyway, Quark barely lives. Pyro not so lucky. Fridge goes down here. Pyro and Sniper together. Great picks. Lets you take space a lot easier all things considered. So that is exactly what KANKER is trying to do now. Sammy, Dima both trying to take some space. He's going down fairly early though. Bad Dragon's very much not too willing to give this point up just yet with the gun and with the heal still around here. So they're just staying on their forward position as much as they can.
Again, we see KANKER, a couple of players in, a couple of players out. They're really not kind of decisive. We saw kind of the soldier jump in and take a lot of space on playground, but he didn't have the follow-up after that. There was no one really to contest that playground from Bad Dragons. But now we see them back out.
Ooh, big bombs coming through as well. Dima and Sammy really wanted Adam to die there, but he just surfs all the way back to even behind second, really. Gets back to spawn, doesn't build it for second. It doesn't matter, it has people anyway. Will live that one on very low health on the landing here, but he's alive, and that's all that matters here for Bad Dragons. This will be a long time before second got capped here, but they can maybe just try to keep this going here. That's not the greatest forward hold just now. Gun down incredibly early due to KANKER just having all the position taken already. Fridge will force Uber and return very early. They saw everything but him in the corner there. Will be forced out. They can return the favor on the Russian side to try to force it back with a better later Uber of their own here. And well, it forced it back a little bit, but not enough so. Don't really deal much damage. Will claim arrows at the end with a clutch pipe by Quark, and that might make a difference here. They have heals where their opponents don't now.
Yeah, we're just looking for maybe a little play from this window from either Walker or Boshi. It looks like KANKER know that they're there and they're not going to fall for anything. But Atom somehow goes down in the back.
Oh yeah,
I think it's just Super making a really aggressive play there.
Yeah, he must have jumped really deep. We can still see his remains on the floor there in the entrance to the spawn area. Managed to somehow find his way deep there to get the kill. That is really, really crucial right now. Otherwise, this would be a lot more of a slog into this point here. But as tough as the time set by Bad Dragons was, this is still doable. 3 minutes for 2 points. Certainly within the realm of possibility here. Pretty much what Bad Dragons was on pace for as well. Let's see if they can keep up with this. Arrows incredibly weak. Fridge wants to sack automatic just like his counterpart. Doesn't quite get as lucky. Arrows needs the card though to heal him up there a little bit and still is really weak, so they need to be careful here about all of this to keep this Uber up alive. They don't have much advantage, but you don't want to give this one up if you can help it.
Yeah, that's crucial there. Area's just about staying alive, kind of inside his team, eating a load of spam. Went down to 20 health at one point, and when they're only at 50% and you have that large Uber event, just keeping your medic safe and sound is kind of the key thing, and they're really kind of playing with fire there, but he just about gets out, and now we're going to see an Uber advantage push. It's only a very, very slight advantage now. Optimus may be able to build its Uber.
Yeah, by the time you finish your sentence, they already have on the red side here as well and can return the favor. And it looks like EF2L KANKER realized they might be a little bit late here, just try to sit back and spam some people down, which works decently well. Sniper, Demo, Scout is a really nice combination of kills here all around, but there's still some counter action coming through. Walker up top, Spy tries to go in as well. At the same time as the heavy will get the medic weak, but mostly just force him back. A clutch few kills to not let EF2L KANKER take any more space towards this third point here, and they're not willing to commit the Uber without this many people being alive right now, so they're falling back, trying to regroup. Waste a lot of time, but as long as the next push will be the final one for this point, it might still be good enough.
They're just down to 1 minute now, and the Uber's coming super early, forced by Boshi, I believe. Pyro's just kind of alone. I don't even see something. He's in the respawn queue, in fact.
Yeah, Sammy was dropped at the beginning of this. Bad Dragons trying to use very late, but have to eventually pop through just to get to the card here. You don't want to let this card roll up the last slope. The moment it's up the last slope, any bit of time between the Scout and or the Spy can basically just end this point immediately. So you really want to keep it down this last slope here just to have a little bit more wiggle room on your own defense to react to the card at all. For now, that seems to work here, and with arrows getting taken down as well at the very end, he just mowed down by the heavy so far away on the balcony here. That's a huge kill for Bad Dragons to get. They only need to stall on 1 more minute, and they will get an Uber before the timer reaches 0 as well, just to make this even worse here. This is potentially just a formality here if they don't make a big mistake right now.
We're talking about a miracle now with just a minute left and medic down and no real position from the blue players who don't have that heal beam to heal them up. See a couple of players wander around the cart, but we're getting towards the end here.
Yeah, most likely a done deal here for now, but a little bit more time left to play. Maybe someone can show their face here as a little bit of a hero to make some nice plays happen. For now, it's just Bad Dragons though. They are looking as confident as they have been all around here. What looked like decent plays for a little while for EF2L KANKER quickly turned sour here with a really, really good third defense, and just well-played Ubers by Bad Dragons, holding on to whatever they can for as long as possible. And just that tad bit better here to take home round number 1 in this best of 3.
It was an interesting kind of mirror situation where both teams had that advantage going into third, and neither team really pushed off it. But just that kind of disastrous Uber where Sammy gets dropped and Super doesn't even get onto the sentry was the main reason why what looked like a fairly promising start for Kanker kind of fizzled out on that third point.
Yeah, really, really interesting comparison how these pushes went for these teams here. And this is where it becomes interesting now. It's this round number 2 for this best of 3 upward map in the best of 3 game series here between EF2L KANKER and Bad Dragons. Like alluded to earlier, KANKER will start on offense now, can try to set up time here for Bad Dragons to beat, and for what it is worth, it didn't start so bad. This was 3 minutes into third. That was only barely worse than the time Bad Dragons was setting up with the 240, I believe it was, into second as well. So they certainly are potentially able to keep up pace if they just get a better early play into third, maybe.
I think they can take information from that first round. They saw that the kind of first push they had, there was so much space up on the playground for them. If they can just replicate that again, they can maybe get a cleaner push onto first. And we also saw second, when Citrus was kind of set up in front of his team, KANKER can take a lot of... they can exploit that like really, really hard now that they're aware of it.
Most definitely. However, I talked about them doing funny things here, and if you look where Cloudy is right now, they certainly want to take the funny place. If you wonder how he got there, if you didn't pay attention just now on cam, I think it was on stream, teleporter can be placed up top there. Cloudy takes a tally, and suddenly you have a sniper on the highest high ground imaginable. Only matters so much if people peek the sideline here, of course, and you don't have much of any area to rotate to up there as well, so it's really just a one and done deal for the most part.
Yeah, Fizzy Pug is on so low health. I think he's probably called Cloudy out there, probably just about spotted it, but he goes down, so there's not going to be a telly down. So yeah. any players red do lose, like this Spy for example, is just going to be able to take the telly and be back in action straight away. Yeah,
Cloudy will leave the high ground here as well. Certainly predictable if he stayed there for too long here. So back to this team who have defended from the sack from the first sack fight really well. Everyone just got deleted before they can turn the corner to the medic here. So far so good for Bad Dragons. Here comes take 2 on an attempt to get in. Spy spotted incredibly early as they try to pop through. No sap anywhere to be seen here, but they still will take the Uber forward, trying to take some space into enemy territory. Not going all too well, all things considered. Atom can use the tap bit later. They can chase them back a little bit here. Not any kills really anywhere at all in this Uber here. Both teams leaving the fight early enough to not lose anyone, not willing to take a risk. But eventually KANKER will have to pull the trigger on the push here. And if it happens now, it's going to be the question to ask right now. If they set down a sniper, and that's going to be a lot of damage off the table here.
Yeah, Cloudy's still up. They've got to be kind of very wary of him. We saw a lot of players go down before that kind of Uber came in, including Duma going for like a really fancy bomb. So they weren't able to repush instantly, and they've just kind of been milling around, very probably wary of the sniper. Like we now see a conch coming in from Boshi. Doesn't really get a good jump in, and none of his players are really to follow up. So they're probably just going to back out here.
Probably would be the right idea at this point. And down a lot of players will leave this one ahead of time before this falls apart anymore. Heavy down late will at least claim the sniper on the way out here, but probably a wise decision by Bad Dragons to leave, like you said, put up the gun back onto second with the Uber in hand still as well. So while one hold got weaker, they're trying to hold the second point here as much as possible, but an Uber in early by KANKER tries to cut that attempt short immediately here, but much earlier Uber will not get them any space, but maybe they just want to get rid of Uber here for a push in anyway. Ooh, but not with that snipe onto Arrows.
Yeah, that was a huge, huge play. We see KANKER very kind of keen to just get the Ubers out of the way, but the thing that changes is that your medic then becomes really vulnerable to the sniper or you know, a flank play. And with no heals to push, it's a really solid hold now for Bad Dragons.
Yeah, it's a risk reward. Sure, your sniper can pick up the medic easily, but so can theirs. They maybe have hoped to have a little bit more control of the top area there, but that was not the case. Cloudy, as we can see, still very much performing well here. The one Brit amongst 8 Russians will still be able to perform pretty well here for now. Able to hit these shots, get some more kills. Sammy down is a huge thorn in the side, of course, on KANKER here, but they're still picking up some kills here now on the flank. Easy Park on the attempt to shut down Cloudy for good maybe this time around. It's starting to take his space through the side tunnel onto the top area, but they don't have quite yet, and they're in some trouble if there's anyone behind them here.
They got quite a lot of important picks down. It's literally just Quarky spamming down this kind of side tunnel. Eventually they had to pop the Uber, and it's going to be a huge advantage now for Ares, who's gone down to 8 health, and Uber's in. Just about popping in time.
I mean, you have no choice at this point. You need to use this early to live. They will need to make this decision here as much as it hurts, because they use so early, like you said, that they can't really get close at all. And still an attempt to fight back here from the Russians. Obviously, with the early, but they have a chance here, but it's going to be a little bit tough with Sammy trying to spawn camp. However, the volley knife strikes again. Lightclaw will find a kill with that cleaver, and suddenly there's a chance for them to bust out of spawn, fight back, and keep the second point for a little bit longer. If not for a high bomb by D.Va right onto the door there. Gets so much damage on both Engie and Medic, but neither of them die.
Oof, that was super close. D.Va going for that classic high bomb that we see on this point all the time. The pyro didn't reflect anything, but the third rocket from D.Va wasn't quite accurate enough. They don't manage to get the Medic down.
Yeah, that is such a huge missed opportunity here. It's still not a great hold for Bad Dragons, but any second can count on the payload, so they gladly take any bit of a second hold they can get here. TS even with the demo pick right now, they're just waiting right now for their flank to be pushed up again to get some card time here, but Bad Dragons is not too keen about fighting this back too much more. Maybe an attempt to push through here with the Uber at some point when people are close, but they're trying to hide their faces for a little bit here at least.
Yeah, so many players from Bad Dragons were hiding there, only really Cloudy peeking, but there wasn't anywhere near enough players on the cap for KANKER. If they just put a couple more players, Cloudy can't snipe all of them. They could have got that, 30 seconds quicker easily.
Yeah, and it might just be a few crucial seconds in the end. This is just below average time into this point here, and that's not what you like to see when your opponents certainly have delivered better than this before. So they need to get into high gear here on third, but much unlike last time, this is not going to look too inviting just yet, but they have no choice but to take their chances. Error is forced by about a 140 damage. Has to pop early. They try to get through here in some way, shape or form, but Pyro and Gun have things to say about that, not letting them get close to the hold at all. Will end up popping themselves here, but there's just no chance they get through that for now.
Sammy got absolutely launched by that new air blast that we see. He went miles back. He could not even surf back onto the map. So far out, and when you got none of that demo damage, you're not going to be able to really get that sentry down or get any kind of position. A really good job from Rich.
Yeah, Pyro can be very strong on this point. Whenever there's a death pit on the map, your Pyro sure is keen to try to put people into that pit as quickly as possible here, and if they come at you with high velocity, you can force them back just like that as well. So Pyro, not just for gun defense, very nice on this point here. Rich certainly putting up a show for that just now. A little bit more time left to go here, obviously, for this point. This is far, far from over, but one failed attempt is already a good amount of time wasted here. KANKER with a second chance, maybe now with another Uber ready to be pushed in with as well, but Sammy just gets launched again the same way as before. No, it was actually Citrus's gun doing the final bit of knockback there in the end.
I think that was possibly a sticky trap, but
It might be.
Sammy, it's now the third time we've seen all this point get horrible entrances. Possibly they need to look at maybe another player leading, like Super's a very, very good Pyro. Possibly if he's leading the line, they can get a little bit more space. Maybe, I mean, they had Fridge down there. They weren't able to capitalize because he just wasn't aware of, presumably, the sticky trap that launched him.
Yeah, at some point here we'll need a pit death counter on the stream as well, just to make sure that we keep track of how many are happening right now, because if this keeps going like this is going to spiral out of control, and it's already kind of. Quark just so far forward, the spams down the entire combo, will claim the medic just out of just area denial in general, maybe not even hoping to kill anyone there, just force them back, but they're all weak and or dead with this one. Boshi eventually claims Sammy as well, late there for the demo man there, another 7 seconds away from spawning here, and KANKER just looking a little bit helpless on this point. If it wasn't for the fact that they keep up the cap time here, this would be a lot worse, but Rampart by himself just pushes this card onto the point and seconds away, not even that at this rate, from the point being capped here.
Yeah, that's a big thing, because with the Uber disadvantage now, it would have been difficult, but they're just going to cap based on that, a little bit of cap time that one bot got. It just needed that heavy Pajaka to walk up, and they couldn't hold it just because it was so close to the cap.
Alright, well, one saving grace here in the midst of a lot of bad pushes for KANKER will put them on track to still have a somewhat reasonable time here into upward last, but it will be tough to do the same play here before. It's a lot easier for the card to be denied from a lot of different areas as long as the forward hold is intact for now. Anyway, a lot of kills ringing out already. Cloudy getting taken down, Boshi as well. They wanna, on KANKER's side, get onto the top area quickly here, force them out from the high ground, makes this a lot easier job here while D.Va jumps in from the back line. Everyone's distracted on staircase. This will be the force. Losing a lot of players is no big deal with this one. This did in fact accomplish exactly what it needed to. The red Uber out of the way is just what they want to see.
Yeah, interesting sack. They got a lot of players through under, and then they just relied on the soldier to jump in behind. a little bit before the rest of the team pushed up staircase. When everyone was looking for that, when everyone was looking for Dima, Sammy was just able to walk. He didn't have much health, but with just Sammy and Pizaka walking up the front staircase, they got the force down on the medic.
Alright, well, Bad Dragon still having control of here, but for how much longer as the push comes in, they're trying to gun down whatever they can here. Medic out of there early, Pyro denying all the damage onto that Atom here in the back lanes as much as possible, but they still have to give up a lot of high ground here and also lose a couple of players in the end, a couple of crucial ones as well. In the end, we'll let the card start rolling forward, but this is far from over. A few spawns will kick in, a lot of damage flying around, but they need to get this damage onto card. There comes the bomb by Bosch, he will take down 2 for 1. But Dima left standing here with Pijaka as well on the card. Can anyone stop this in time as it rolls into the pit for the 9-10 time on Kanker's timer here?
That was really, really smart from Sammy. You could see that as soon as the Uber was over, he jumped up top left. He had tons of health from the end of the Uber and was just sticking down the spawn, making sure they couldn't get any pressure onto the little balcony area. If you can't control the balcony area, it's really, really difficult for anyone to deny the cart. So Sammy has been struggling up to now, made a really, really big play. And while a 9-minute time isn't great, you know, it could have been 10 minutes plus if he hadn't made that huge play there.
Yeah, in the end though, 9-10 is just about okay, really. And towards the higher divisions, you really want a little bit better than that, especially if the standards set by your opponents have been, what was it, about 6 minutes flat pretty much on the side of Bad Dragons here. This is a big difference in terms of times on to last right now, that Bad Dragons certainly will be happy to see right now. Sure, can still misplay, but for starters, that's obviously very much a confidence booster going into this. They just need to perform anywhere close to what they have been so far to wrap this up on map number 1. Question is if Kanker made some notes in between rounds here to try to up the defense here as well.
I think it's less a case of individual play and more just they probably want to be more aggressive as a whole. We could see them giving up points super early a lot of the time that first round. Now they look a bit more into the swing of things, so they'll be looking to just get aggressive together when they need to be.
Let's see if they can see what you can see here on EF2L KANKER. Certainly we'll have to dig deep for this one here. It will be a long upward if they take this, but this is the only chance to not be down on the match point here immediately, as the bombs are flying in for the Russians, looking everywhere for the medic, but that was the medic errors here, hiding near the teleporter, not near the dispenser where you might expect the guy to be, so they will all fall into Jeff pretty quickly. Not a big deal here, cards up very far forward already while the sacks happen, and they are ready to go now, maybe with a more committed Uber play. Certainly has been the meta here in this match, at least so far. 1 sack into push with the Uber, Atom leaving spawn, signals pretty much that. Just a matter of playing safe on the sack classes right now, which don't seem to be in the best position to deal with this. So the Uber with Cork leading the charge comes in as the sap, goes through for the spy here. Gun taken down immediately. It's a matter of dealing with the Uber now. That's the annoying part right now, as the Uber fades are finding themselves a lot of people down. Still with a good amount of counterfacts here. That might just be enough. No gun to fall back to. They will decide to fall back to second, probably rightfully so this time around.
Piney went down super early even before the Uber came in, and even though the Uber wasn't great, they didn't get that many picks. Just the NG going down, no sniper counter. Cloudy was just able to walk up top as soon as they got that little bit of space, and there's no kind of answer from Kanker's point of view there, so they just had to escape.
Alright, well, Kanker trying to put up a little bit of a resistance here on second. Want to have the more forward hold on second if they can help it. Hasn't been going too swimmingly for either side this game so far here, and with Atom going down, that might change it right now. Kanker now in prime position to try to take some space and some good time off the clock here as well. 7 minutes left to go is not very little at all. They certainly will have to stay here a while if they want to wrap this round up successfully, but a great start off with the medic going down here. Could go a long distance here, as the cards at least already forward into tunnel, which is a start for the Russians, but far from too threatening position just yet.
Yeah, it's not a point you see kind of traditional sack plays, so it's maybe a little bit uncomfortable knowing exactly what to do. Sammy's launched miles in the air, in fact goes down to just heavy shooting him from the other side of the map, and they even forced, it's disastrous. There was nothing really going there for Bad Dragons, but just Sammy taking that damage and them forcing, now it's completely flipped it round.
Alright, well, they're still trying to defend the slope area here a little bit with Body's presence with the gun forward as well, but slowly but surely getting outspaced, outnumbered as well, and they're falling back here all the way into the building. Don't have anywhere close Uber as well, so maybe once again just conceding ground here early. Piney still has a little bit of a sideline, but it's not going to stop this card from rolling through here, as the point will be wrapped up at the 6-minute mark here. Decent pace to set right now. Once again, 3 minutes into second has been pretty much happening every round now. If they can keep this up from here on out, this will be tough for Kanker to contest.
Yeah, again, they're just opting to push the cart a little bit, not taking lots of space with that Uber advantage. They're just going to let it equalize, push the cart. Not Kanker just dropping back into not staying super far forward, leaving quite a lot of space. So that both teams will kind of be happy. The fact there's no Uber advantage push is good for Kanker, and the fact there's lots of cart time is good for Bad Dragons.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen just last round how good just Captain alone can be. Kanker really didn't have a single, like, genuinely good push here, but it just worked with Captain alone. Bad Dragons, on the other hand here, the Russians want to get this going with both at the same time. A push with the cap time is trying to make this work here. The cap time certainly is getting all the way forward onto the last slope just now, but the push itself, very much not successful. A lot of people down, a lot of them weak as well. Position will not be keeping in their control here. The only one forward is the Heavy right now, trying to hide, hoping somebody gets baited forward. Slash is taking a bit of a bait here. Heavy gets onto the Demo with that as well, maybe onto the Pyro too. Just Walker killing everything there. The snipe comes through, but it's not lethal for Piney. Eventually the Heavy goes down here, but this is so many picks just with this one play alone.
Massive DM fest. It seems to have the space, but now we see Dima comes in through the drop down area and gets the medic down, but it looks like Kanker have just dropped out onto the final point, so that medic pick isn't going to be particularly important because it's just going to go down to another sack wave anyway.
Nice few kills here by Cloudy between the melee kill and a very quick turnaround snipe as well onto the card. Certainly pulling up into good shape right now. As he said, medic going down is very unfortunate. Will put Kanker into a doable position on last. 4 minutes is still a tall order right now to hold off the Russians for on the last point here. So they have a lot of work to do if they want to keep this point alive here. Bad Dragons currently just sitting back, building a little bit, maybe looking if they can maybe just sack someone through, but for the most part, really just focus on getting their own Uber up safely first.
Most teams do like this kind of traditional 7-man sack. Atom's kind of far forward, which is unusual. The Spy, Fizzy Bug, gets the snipe, just about misses out on that medic.
Yeah, that was a close call for sure. Any second sooner he would have been on Atom there, who's leaving now, not trying to be close to the sack wave here at all, which is not really working all too well. Last time, a lot better here. People will still go down on red, but only 3 in the end. Even with late spawns, that's probably not going to be enough. The only bad spawn, Sammy, will still be up in a few 5 seconds worth of time here. So it might just be a matter of taking Uber forward here into an exchange onto the top area maybe to try to get some things going for Bad Dragons here.
Yeah, with the demo down, this front area is open. They still decide to go the back stairs, which is kind of unusual to see. It's kind of messy Uber trade. The Pyro comes in, Super gets a load of frag, including the medic. Honestly, that was a little bit foolish from Bad Dragons. They should have probably gone from the front stairs rather than the back stairs. They should have exploited the fact that Sammy was down.
Yeah, they just wanted to get this over quickly, I think. Took the first area they could see to go straight in here, but no success so far. Medic obviously in significant disadvantage, but that doesn't stop them for now. Both medics don't have, and that's probably reason enough for them to try to push forward here. But they look through the window more than through the doorway as the conch push comes in, trying to shut them down early, get some good damage here. It's cleaned up eventually between the Demoman and the Sniper. 2 picks that are going their way on the top area alone to try to shut them down. Certainly works to make the Russians fall back here.
Oh my god, Fridge literally just walks in front stairs. Nobody shoots him. Sammy's setting up a random sticky trap somewhere else. Walks straight. He knows exactly that the medic's on that corner. He gets the frag. And it's now a 90% Uber advantage for Atom.
Yeah, all that while Spy gets the Heavy and Snipers down as well. This is already looking good if they want to play this quick before the spawns are even having a chance to kick in here for Kanker. And they're certainly keen to try to take the top area. A little bit of resistance still. Heavy Pyro and Demoman still on top. Sammy already leaving, gets a dead on the way out of the Boshi here, but top has been taken. A lot of people down still. Sammy actually taken down by TF in the backline. Piney, similarly unlucky, gets all the way to the Gunner, the Spy, to get the sap going while the Captain's rolling in. It's just a Heavy trying to mow people down on the card. 4 goes in to distract him, and that's enough to get the point cap up here. Bad Dragons will take map number 1 in very, well, maybe not very commanding fashion, but very controlled fashion in the end. One thing I want to hopefully see in this match, which I've seen a little bit in the practice here on Bad Dragons, and I hope we see some more of it as well. I alluded to it earlier as well with how they want to play aggressive. I've seen them have some very aggressive holds forward on the point. Not quite forward holds really, but a lot more aggressive than you would expect, given that they have just very standard positionings otherwise in these sort of situations for most teams. But we'll see about that as we're going live with map 2 in the best of 3. It's COF product between Bad Dragons and EF2L KANKER. Bad Dragons up a map here. They can win this and make it into the second round of the Prem qualifier. If they win this map here right away, KANKER on the last leg at the moment, and for now they're trying to go out fighting, but they can't keep the medic alive. They're forced back early, but the Spy finds the final zone to Alice, and they just need to see if they can get anything going in return now.
It was a huge early bomb instantly from Bosch. He comes in from kind of connector area. Ares did a really good job. He surfed away miles away, but he was so far away he ended up isolated against the Spy, and Yucca just, presence of mind, just knocked him down. He's on such a low health that he only took the one pistol shot. Once the medic's down, he didn't have to do anything fancy, and now Atom has 100% Uber advantage.
Alright, well that's already a nice start here. Still there's a little bit of a late cap by Dragons, all things considered, but they're starting off the timer of their own here quite nicely for now, with Uber advantage in hand as well. If not for KANKER having something to say about that, the bombs come through, Lima one side, Sam the other, but doesn't quite know where the medic went. Tries to go through the building here, wraps around the other way, does not find Atom in time with any damage here. Both of them will go down empty-handed. There is another few seconds Bad Dragons can call their own here, and any bit counts here. This timer will take against them quickly if they can't get a successful play going soon, but at the moment this is all just a ploy to be active while Libra's being built. Once this is ready to go, probably less sacrifice and more direct pushes out of the red side here.
That was some really nice jukes from Atom. He knew Sammy was above him, but just chipped it in out. But now he's isolated against Fizzybug. He doesn't have the... And the force comes out. There's no Pyro with it. He wanted to go in for the sack wave, but with Fizzybug, just again, smart presence of mind from a Spy, and Atom was alone, easy force. I don't even think the jumpers jumped in, did they?
I think Sammy was in maybe, but that was really about it, just to help out Force Libra here in the end. Speaking of Sammy, down quickly to the Spy here. That's a bad one to lose if you want to get forward with a push. He's down so much damage. You really want to see on your opponents here. This just comes down to everybody else, and with the Spy already in position, picking up the sniper, you at least have a better opportunity now to push than otherwise. Fizzy's still trying to do even more work for this push here, but it's really just the cap time and presence on point alone that eventually will force Bad Dragons to concede here. They don't have an Uber, and they very much are aware of that fact, falling back here for now, just to let Atom get this Uber first of all.
Yeah, we're seeing a real elevation in play there from Poppy. Sammy went down, so it's really down to him just to get those crucial picks. Bad Dragons were a little bit loath to really take a trade or anything, and they just give up the point kind of quite easily. I guess they had the Uber disadvantage, which was perhaps why they didn't want to contest, but now they're getting a lot of easy capture, and the force comes in. Sammy, Uber again, trade, much better position from Bad Dragon. Quarky's nice and on the point. Are they going to commit and go for... Doesn't look like it. They're just backing up a little bit. They have the points, so they don't really have to do anything here.
Yeah, they just want to do the bare minimum right now to get this under wraps here, point under control. Sniper up again though, for one side, where it's down for theirs, so a little bit of a scary moment here as EF2L KANKER certainly willing to take some risk here with this, with the sniper advantage and with the player forward as well. Atom gets bombed, but not quite going down. And that is going to be maybe just a big difference maker in the end here, keeping this Uber percentage alive where they need a Dima desperately tries to chase through spawn, but it will not be enough in the end, will go down. Sammy still forward as well, tries to get some people caught by surprise here with the traps forward, but they're busting through the other door. They had not really much of a forward hold set up there at all. Main completely not under control for KANKER. They bust through on the Russian side, get themselves back near the point now, probably ready to go properly with some cap time here very soon.
Fizzybug gets a smart pick on Cloudy there, so it's going to be down to perhaps a trade. They can't really rely on that sniper now. They're going to have to go for an aggressive play. See a big bomb in from Boshi, but he's mostly denied by Super. Good air blast there. And we're going to see some space there for Demo on the flank. Got a cap time down. The Ubers come in now.
Yeah, Bad Dragons need to cast this with the Uber. And KANKER very happily does so as well, of course. Still numbers down, but keeping the cap time under wraps here. Bad Dragons not too happy about this. They were still trying to fight back post over here, and with Cloudy hitting stuff just like Quark does here in this fight, they're looking in a lot better shape all of the sudden here, just busting through. The Russians will probably cap this up any second here. They want to be careful about Sax here, but look to have wrapped this up fairly nicely with just some really, really good DM to turn this around very quickly.
Yeah, areas like Cloudy was up on the cliff, and post Uber, you really don't want to be kind of stuck in the kind of concrete area as a medic, because you know that snipe on the cliff can. It's not a great play really there from Ares. It's been pretty solid up till now, but just getting caught out could be decisive in this round.
Alright, this Uber is desperately trying to get anywhere, but it is too little too late. Everyone on Kanker has already disappeared and can't even clean up a frag with this in the end. Kanker very quick probably here to return the favor now with their own Uber to try to get back the point under control. He's still bad. Dragons up on the timer. Could be pretty bad if they can't get this wrapped up quickly here. The time is dangerously ticking down already. Overtime is something you desperately want to avoid, just to have a little bit more wiggle room by the end of it. But the Uber will have to come out to try to chase down, but it's so late. People try to disappear as quickly as they can, but they just wrap around the building, completely juking the Uber and wrapping right behind Ares here to try to get the kills. Atom called for this as well. Not the best decision given that they didn't have Uber yet, but it's still a really, really messy fight. And as people go down here, the team on the point will have the worst spawns, and Kanker in this position not exactly favored for the last few moments here. Just a heavy and a gun trying to keep this under control here, but they can only do so much without really good heals. Only the Spencer between the two of them to try to keep this alive right now.
That was honestly something I don't think I've ever seen. The Uber came in, they were so far back, they did a rotation through main. We're seeing a fight. Sammy goes down super early, no demo man now. It's going to be difficult. Perhaps Walker's going to walk onto the point, like his name says, and he's probably just going to dominate. Takes so much damage early. In fact, it's Pajaka the one really shooting everyone down on the point. A lot of cap time for Bad Dragons, but they don't have the position.
Yeah, they have a little bit of overtime to play with here. This is far from over as the bombs are trying to come through, but everybody's fish out of the air quite nicely. Fridge with a good amount of damage late here, but this is mostly just coming down to Quark on the beam, and he's eating 2 stakes right away. Snipe on the back as well. Really needs to hit some shots to get them on the point here. They're trying to get in, but it is just too late at this point, and despite the really good endgame position of having overtime and a good few seconds left to play with at the end as well, they just didn't win the DM fights when it really mattered at the end.
The last 2 minutes, they were kind of stuck in this little kind of, you know, valley area, just eating so much spam. Demons coming in with these huge bombs landing on the medic, on the demo man. So much damage down. Difficult to play from the low ground, really.
Alright, into round number 2, Kanker up 1 here. It's a great start for them if they're already down a map. This is how you want to see the second map go. Boshi in early, trying to get a bomb through, can't quite get to the medic. Once again, like we've seen before, Kanker falling to the pressure a little bit here, falling back quite early in an attempt to live this time around. However, looks like they're getting the kills, making it all worth it in the end here. Here comes the repush. The Jacker and Sammy leading the charge here, and there's not much left on the Russian side to deal with. This Dima finds the medic even on the way out just to write this home completely in the red team's favor here, capping up the point. The Russians not too happy about this, but Boshi with a chance here on the medic. Ares not going down there to the bomb of the blue soldier.
We're seeing a forward hold here. Demoman comes in. Ares is alone and forces everyone drop down. I don't really know for reason. Probably just chasing random frags. And with no soldiers, just alone for the Demoman to come in. Kind of poor awareness there, but with the force, they're not too badly. It's only a slight advantage now, but Citrus has got a lot of space now on the cap time. No heavy to deny. Sammy's not in position either, really.
And this should wrap up the cap right here, right now, and everyone trying to get through here. Very quickly counteracted. Really nice position by the blue players on the point to not be the ones getting bombed on, but in fact deny those bombers early, not let them even get close at all to anyone on that team here, to keep the point under wraps the way they wanted to be in the color blue, and tick down the timer. Finally getting a start on this second round here with advantage as well. Not a huge one, so probably not a lot of downtime here before Kanker can start some aggression of their own. Interested to see which that will look like here, though.
I think we're probably likely to see a trade. It's probably too late now for a sack wave. Now they're reaching 100%. We do see a sack wave, in fact.
Yeah, they want to try to get in here at all costs with the damage classes first to lead the charge. Spy in the backline will, in fact, be the game-changing play here, potentially, to just find the medic backing off into him to get the force here with the pistol. A couple picks late, in fact, even on top of that, makes things even better here. They can't really defend the point even a second longer here much at all now. Will fall back here slowly but surely. Red team will take the point. Kanker wraps this up pretty nicely here. Surprise sack wave where you might not expect it. Working out wonders for them here.
There wasn't just the sack wave as well. It was the presence of mind of these, both the heavy, the NG, I think, and the scout, just to see that Bad Dragons is fully backed up, just taking the cap time that was presented to them. Because traditionally when you see your other players go in and foot force, you just want to get out of there. They really made the most of it, and they're really back in this round now.
Alright, Bad Dragons in return, however, trying to find success just with point time alone. It's a lot of it for sure, but not quite enough in the end as the counter reaction finally comes through for Kanker to just about end this before the point gets traded back here. They keep this under wraps for now, for a little bit longer here, which will end up being quite a lot of time. Already halfway down their own timer here, still on the point right now. Uber only now getting ready for Atom as we speak here, but probably very keen to use it quickly now that they can.
It seems to be a switch has really flipped for Super, the Pyro for Kanker. He's playing much more aggressive suddenly. He's getting a lot of space on the point. He's really kind of exploiting that. He's not scared of perhaps the spy going for his sniper. And with the space he's taking, they're getting a lot of cap time down.
That will be the cap here, however, for Bad Dragons, despite the best efforts on Kanker. Medic still hiding in the dispenser, will keep you alive for a little bit longer, but Eris is scared. There's so many people, willingly or not, there's no way you can pop. You cannot pop the Quark, receive the at the end as well, just in an attempt to chase down the Medic here. But Eris so much early out there, while the Heavy takes all the attention, kind of has this, well, they can't keep the man behind in the end there, so focus down, Heavy goes down here, Medic will escape, making a big difference later on the round here for sure, but for now, this will be Bad Dragons on the point for at least a little bit longer here, but spawns are coming in now, and Sammy wants to lead this in right away.
Very back and forth aggressive play, but we briefly saw Cloudy get a big kill streak there, but now he's gone down. It's going to open up some space. Yuka comes in and gets the medic.
Somehow in the midst of all of this, despite being damaged already, will be coming through to get that stab going. That is huge. That is just the luxury of not using the bicycle. Pyro sees you and you can still claim the med kill in the end. Sometimes that just makes the difference here. Despite how good that weapon might be, it will fall to the Pyro instantly where a normal knife won't. So Bad Dragon's very happy about this, I would imagine, right now, to get all of this wrapped up here and to keep the point blue where they want it to be. Time's still very close, so this is far from over, but this advantage could really make a difference here.
There's a lot of key classes down, but they're not getting the cap time here on Kanker. There's no demo, no soldier arm, no sniper, so they could have got a lot of cap time there with no spam, no sniper to worry about. They get it half cap, but now they're looking at possibly kind of a half sack play. Just, I think Dima getting cleaned up. Sammy just provided a little bit of spam from the right hand side. Got into the pocket, but with his dispenser took all the damage there for Atom and none into the medic himself, so he didn't have to force.
Oh, here comes a bit of a pushover point, Lightclaw on the point, Boshi, sorry, trying to go behind with that. Doesn't find a good target to go on though, has to fall back. Forced Kanker back as well a little bit, bought him some time here, brings him just about to overtime, and this Uber is trying to get them that little bit further here, but if the Eris doesn't take damage, he won't get forced at all until very late here in the end. Just barely got in time, in fact, as well here. But they got this to overtime, they just need to not all fall in this Uber, and for the most part, that's a safe and sound in the little corner here. In fact, claimed some kills with this late as well. Maybe just putting some repush potential here on the board as well here. Sammy still down, Heavy just now coming up for Kanker as well. And most everybody up for Bad Dragons, making this very alluring to go with early.
Yeah, Quark is up now, and they're going to have the better spawns. But with Quarky going down to Fizzy Pug, kind of a key pick. We saw the start of the last push. Quarky went down to a big bump from Demo, and now he's gone down from Fizzy Pug. Fizzy Pug gets Cloudy as well, and these key picks that they get, it's making it very difficult for them to get any aggression down here, Bad Dragons.
Alright, they're still trying to double down on this, so they don't want to leave this at all, and Kanker, however, is still kind of a little bit ahead on damage here. Good focus fire will go some distance here, but they need to really defend the point. They don't want to until they have. Barely get it in time, but any second will do. It's a better Uber for Bad Dragons as well. They can just blast them off the point, right, to keep the cap time up here. Slightly better Uber will last a second longer here. Lightclaw wrapping behind with this, finds one, might find two here in form of the Spy as well, and cleans up the medic for the Demoman as well. Oof. Hitting all the shots they needed here, and that will wrap up the round here. This time around, Bad Dragons will claim the kills where they needed to in overtime to get the round under control here and tie it right back up.
And as we said at the start, big mini sentry there from Citrus just at the end of the round in that main area, just shooting down anything on the point. There was so much cap time down that everyone from Kanker had to play on the point. Mini Sentry was able to shoot them all, and it was crucial in Bad Dragons winning that second round.
Right, third round, starting off immediately with Cloudy doming the Pyro here. Boshi doming down in return, keeps the numbers even, but still they need to be careful about the pick classes because they're already alive and kicking here to get some kills. Cloudy with 2, Yaka with 1. That is a bad start for Kanker here, where they had a really good one last time around. They just don't have much of a presence here anymore, especially with Piney going down. On top of all this, they just have to fall back here. Play off the back foot to start off the round with not a great look, of course, but certainly doable here. Bad Dragons obviously lost the last mid-fight, so as much of an advantage as it is to get the timer started immediately, it's not the be-all end-all here if you can just play out of the corner well enough.
I think Slash was the only one who even approached the point there for Kanker, with Poppy going down so early. Now see a sack play, Force comes in super quickly. I don't think they're going to get anything in return. Maybe they'll go for a forward hold. Ares is kind of staying in here with just super with him, but they on Bad Dragons just get better of it back up.
Oh, there's Boshi trying to sack through, and the Pyro got caught with the shotgun out, trying to imitate the scout. Couldn't have lost anything away. That's the Force coming through onto Ares here. Very early, Uber will be struggling to get close to anything at all. At least a Spark can claim a victim here, but Bad Dragons not even anywhere looking to be backing off of this point. They don't want to stay close, they want to claim kills, and look at that, so much damage. Light Claw deep on the medic is the one kill they really wanted here at the end, while Atom still got caught in a crossfire, but they couldn't deliver where they needed to. Maybe Boshi in the end, and it's just too late once again. Super just a second too late to the rescue there.
Ares taken really long range spam rockets just from Boshi walking through the connect, because he ate 100 damage just from the spam rockets. Meant Boshi could then just jump in. Even though Super got the second rocket, the first one was the crucial one because he was down to 30 health. That first rocket was enough to clean him up. Though I think Atom's gone down somewhere as well, so it's basically even Ubers, and the point is for Kanker.
Yeah, they still have this under control at least for a little bit longer here, and despite the medics going down here and very late in terms of Ares as well, it's still largely even, so this is obviously much better than it would have been otherwise for Bad Dragons, but it's still not exactly great. They still keen to take the chances here. Lightco with the cat time, trying to get things started to make this an engagement over the point here, as he's trying to re-engage, so he's just getting melted by everybody spamming the point here. They want to fight back by Kanker, but maybe not like that just yet. Not too happy about that, I would imagine. So no cap time just now, as Ubers are slowly coming up, leading some players here and now on both sides, but I think the Pyro down might just be the one they love to see on Bad Dragon's side here.
That was a big play from Sammy just to kill the sniper, who was kind of just peeking a little bit aggressive on his own. They're giving up a lot of space now. Sammy down, Piney down, those are the key classes on Koth product. They're kind of, ooh, Jacka, it looks like they want to trade or not. They're really, really uncertain here, but they have got slight pick advantage here for a little bit of time.
Ooh, that's a force by Dima as well. It looks like they didn't want to go in with the Onuba at all. They just wanted cap time to be the forcing issue here in the end, and there had to be some damage on top of that as well. But Atom gets caught anyway. Tries to take the long way out, but Sammy there with stickies to juggle him in front of the fence there. No way out for the medic. Really well done by Kanker. Still lose a couple on the crackback of that, of course, but it's only 2 down right now. Make that 3 with Sammy just getting walked over by Lightclaw. That might just be a difference maker here, but Ares obviously far from having up. The viewers just got used here, so maybe they just take a non-aware fight to wrap this up quickly with.
A lot of space for Cloudy as well with Piney down. Going over to this connector area, seeing what he can get. A lot of space opening up, and they're just kind of taking the point without too much contesting from Kanker. Ares, is he in, is he out? They're not really sure. Jacko as well goes down to the spy. And
nice
they
pick on a heavy, yeah.
Yeah, they just get the point for free. It's really kind of just messy DM. Teams aren't in and out when they really want to be at the time.
Smart trap by Quark as well. Gets Dima on the jump back out again. Uber comes out anyway. They want to cut the losses here, try to catch people early. Maybe aware of the small ad they have, but that gets changed quickly with an Uber saw by Atom right into his countryman's face. Slash goes down there, and that is the full Uber all of a sudden here in Atom's hand right now to try to make this push towards point back as quickly as possible. Yaka, the vote forward member, has to receive most of the splash there, but either way, even with only a Spider Beam, the Kanker will fall back to play it safe. They're already down a couple, don't want to lose much more. At the very least, Dima takes matters into his own hands there, tries to get some damage going, but it's too little too late. The point gets wrapped up here. The Spy Uber will win the point here for now and will be ticking down this 30 seconds timer to very dangerously low times now for Bad Dragons.
one of the interesting things we're seeing is DuMmTm going for a lot of these high bombs, opening a lot of space up on the connector, and we can see KANKER aren't really sort of watching that connect, so Yuka was just able to come in and get Sam with no one watching from the right side. But again, it's really back and forth.
Yuka gets the stab on the medic here out of nowhere. Everybody was a good few steps away and not anywhere close to saving the man. And that will be a crucial pick. They already have barely any time left to play, and now they have barely any time to get anything done with the heals even. Basically no time at all to build an Uber right now if they can't get this to double overtime. So that needs to be a great fight back right now past this Uber from Bad Dragons.
Yeah, it's such a back and forth round. Loads of players going down on both teams, and each team is just able to really quickly take the point back. They're not often not contesting super hard because they just feel like they can get it back in 5-10 seconds super quick. Seeing Uber come in, going for the medic, not getting him, but it's literally just getting the space they require, and no one's even going to be able to walk onto the point for KANKER, and that's a round for Bad Dragons.
Yeah, it looks like ever since the last round they have very much so stepped up the game here on the last few seconds worth of gameplay here in the overtime, where it really matters on Bad Dragons. This is just a little bit more coordinated compared to the massive fight in round number 1 at the end here. So Bad Dragons taking the lead. This is match point on the blue side here. The Russians on the verge to making it to the second round of the qualifier, and KANKER on the verge to being eliminated and go back home to the one where they came from.
Yeah, it's do or die now for KANKER. They don't want to be stuck in Div 1 for another season. They finished second last season. They want to be in Premiership this season if they can. But they're going to have to win these remaining 2 rounds on product just to take it into a third map.
Alright, a little bit more for Tamer started with a couple of kills finally kicking in here. Citrus with the latest one on Engineer of all things has to do some dirty work there to prevent himself, but quickly change into forward momentum here as both him and the Pyro try to get some cap time going and get this point finally started under wraps here. Still, so many people alive though makes this a really hard fought for a point right now, taking a long time to be decided. Eventually Sammy seems to just pull the trigger here on the aggression, wants to go in deep. Blue team very happy to contest with their own as well. A decent bit later, and obviously keeping a lot more position because of that as well here. Still, a lot of people up, they want to fight back. Sammy tries to waddle this one forward, but there's everyone on point, and his damage was just not strong enough there. Everyone going down here, including the medic, is just exactly what they didn't want to see being the aggressors on this mid-fight.
Again, it's Fridge going forward alone with really a solo play. He gets onto the medic at the end of that Uber exchange, and with the medic going down now, we're probably going to be looking at sack waves, but kind of a bad start for KANKER. They need to really execute this sack wave well now to get back into this game.
Yeah, they need something huge right now to be a momentum changer, and Kriegskrieg seems to be their way to go with that as well. The question is if they are aware of the spy down. It's a little bit harder to spot this right now. You still have time to see it coming anyway. Obviously, visual differences are there, even without a spy checking for you manually. You can see that it is Kriegskrieg, and they need to be aware of that. You can't be caught by surprise right now, but either way, for now, it's more or less just a cap time sack wave here, trying to get some bodies on point, trying to force Uber that way. Not quite working out here too much in the end, but a little bit of cap time might be a good start for the final push coming through here if they can help it right now, as the Uber is coming up any second for KANKER.
A big force there from DuMmTm. Really, with them going for this forward hold, DuMmTm being able to get in there so cleanly and get the forward, that's kind of huge. And, wow, Atom's somehow gone down on the backlines to FizzyPug. I think Atom just wanted to back out while the rest of his team was staying forward, and FizzyPug exploits that, gets a crucial pick. It's now 100% for KANKER. Big advantage.
Yeah, however, it's crit ad as well, which complicates things a little bit. You can obviously force, but it doesn't change much if they still hit the follow-up damage anyway. You might still be dead regardless. Here comes the crits being popped, trying to claim some kills. They're really hoping for an angle onto Adam here, but it's just everything else that's in line of sight for the Demoman here. Only claims one in the end, and arrows will go down in return even to the damage of the Demoman of the other side here. And this just wraps things completely back around into Bad Dragon's favor, picking up all these kills here. No invincibility goes a long way right now for Bad Dragons to have counterplay ready, and they are very keen to take the point back right away. Only 14 seconds of KANKER's timer here, and only a minute left to go for Bad Dragons. Is a tough one to try to play through right now, but they will have to make it work.
We talked about those big sticky traps that Quarky likes to put on the point on this map, and that came in really clutch. With it being a Kriegskrieg rather than the Uber, you don't get that invincibility on the point when the medic's forward, and he goes down to Quarky's sticky trap, and My god, Bad Dragon's in a
once
great
again,
position now.
Light Claws. Well, that is just another meta death that they just cannot afford to have here. Like you said, the man can pop off if he needs to, and this is a crucial kill once again here. TF2 and only 40 seconds left. Makes it a very tough one to try to play through. But they need something drastic now, and Uber won't even make a difference here anymore. They don't have time for that unless they get to point before they have, and that's not how you want to play this game at all. You need to have this Uber at the very least to make a play happen. If he comes to force attempt through, but it will drop the medic in the end. Perfect sync damage between Sammy and Dima will get the medic wrapped up quickly, and they might be kicking themselves now for spawning on Crits Creek once again here.
Oof. Well, I think if they got that Uber out, even with all the Captoid, that Uber might have been enough to clean up the point and win the round for them. Now we're seeing really aggressive forward hold from KANKER, and with this Kritzkrieg, as you say, changes up a little bit. Are we going to see bombs into areas? Are we going to see a really aggressive play from Sammy to proactively drop back a little bit, perhaps giving Sammy a little bit longer sightlines, drop these crucial crit stickers down? He just needs a fizzy pug or someone to give him a little bit of information on this medic.
This is, however, exactly where you never want to be in a game of King of the Hill right now. The other team has so much more time to get basically just one good play going. They can take the sweet time to get one successful push here, and Bad Dragons knows this. They're careful about this. They want to get the Uber first, it seems, and go only once it's good to go here with that invincibility. So taking their sweet time, but they have this time as well, very aware of that, to pop through here first before the crits can do anything about this. Medic popped in there with no health whatsoever, will land, but quickly taken down anyway by one more sticky of the demo vents here. That's the medic wrapped up, but they're going down a couple of them themselves here, making this fight not quite a success just yet, even with the worst spawns. However, the longer this goes, the more Atom being alive will matter here. The heal is just showing its difference here. They're slowly falling back. They're just not losing anyone on the way out all too much.
Yeah, go a bit careful on KANKER. Xhaka now goes down. There's quite a few crucial picks for them. They're just very, very smart play here from Bad Dragon. Easing onto the point, no risks taken. They just need to win the point. It's really difficult now. KANKER, the really last gas push now. They're walking in, no one's buffed. They're all really low health. They've got the position here. Oh, and Atom goes down. Oh, huge damage from Dima and Sammy. And Dragons, they really weren't sure whether they wanted to commit or not there. And again, the uncertainty comes in, and it's down to just a minute now, and a huge advantage again now for KANKER. Looks like they're back on the Medigun, which is probably a good thing based on how the quizzes went.
Yeah, for sure. It was just more or less an accident. They hoped it might come up in the overtime scenario in time, but the drop just changes completely. They have a chance to redeem themselves here, but they need to defend the point right now, and they're just nowhere close at all. They get so much capital already, and everyone blocking just gets melted completely between the scout and the heavy on the point. They don't get past that at all, and Bad Dragons will finally wrap things up here with this push to win the game and go on to round 2 of the Prem qualifier against Wiethoofd KANKER, going back home where they probably are familiar in Division 1 once again here. They will certainly be the team to beat, I suppose. Very soon we'll see more of Bad Dragons as well once the game against Wiethoofd is scheduled. It will be at some point this week. I wouldn't be surprised if it was Sunday, but just stay tuned on Critscast to find out when it is. And also stay tuned on Critscast for more sixes to come here. We have the Locked and Loaded Cup coming up very soon, sponsored by GG Tours, to bring some more sixes action in the 6v6 off-season to see how people can perform in the new year, maybe with new rosters coming up soon at January 30th and 31. As always, stay tuned here. Don't forget to follow the channel on all our various social media. And yeah, that's it from us. So see you guys next time.
Hi, old beaver! Away!